Okay. All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Energy First Golf. This is today is December 5th live stream. All right. So sorry we ran into a little bit of difficulty. For some reason, the YouTube live stream app didn't work well. I don't know what happened. This is first time that's happened to us, right, Jason?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but we'll figure it out. So very exciting, and it's really been a while. We've been so busy with a lot of things. Everything's doing really good with Energy First Golf, Energy First, Impact later. So today we're gonna start out with live stream, and really I want to talk about this topic today. It's going to be, what do I need to do during the winter season, right? So how do I keep up with my golf fitness, and how do I continue to work on my golf swing? The truth is, I know, even though I have shorts on, just because, I'm inside, we kept the heater on and everything. So, but outside it's getting cold, less people playing golf, and it just, the grass is getting brown, so it's just not as fun. But in my honest opinion, this time of year, like the December, January, February, March, like this 4 months is really the time to take golf lessons and work on your swing, work on your golf fitness, work on the stretches. Because I know a lot of guys, during the summer season, in Atlanta, Georgia, our season starts in really March, April. Our golf season is pretty long. Really, the only 3 months that's December and January, February. But a lot of guys just start taking lessons during the springtime and during the golf season. But the truth is, I honestly believe the best time to take golf lessons really is the off season, okay? Because hold on a second. Let me turn down this volume. So during the off seasons, you can work on a lot of swing changes. But with Energy First Golf, when I say swing changes, really just means development. Okay. Obviously, the word swing change is so easy to say, but I like to call it development. Condition of your body, of your golf swing. So, in the off season, December, January, February is really the good time to start doing that. If you're here in Atlanta, Georgia, give me a call. We can set up an appointment and work out in regimen, both focusing and targeting your golf swing, your body, muscular development, stretches, and all of that. Okay, so a lot of you, if you follow this channel, and you will see that I'm already starting doing some of the videos that's regarding fitness. Okay, the main thing about working out for golf swing, a lot of you, when you talk about workout, you always think, oh, wait a minute, do I need to do heavy weights, or do I need to go out there just sweat it out, But the truth is, for golf fitness, really, it's not that physically demanding, It's really working on your balance, your muscle pressure, and your stability, and your mobility, okay? And when you do work on your mobility, say if you do move your body, and you don't need heavy weights. You don't need to go out there and get like a whole bunch of weights. That's not really what golf workout is all about. Golf working out, golf conditioning is just really training the muscle that you have in your body to move for a golf swing. Okay? So like, say for example, what is a stability? Okay, I'm going to give you an example. What is a stability? Stability just means right now, if I put my hands on top of my shoulders and chest, I'm going to make sure my upper torso doesn't move while I'm moving and turning my lower body. So here's an example of that. Okay, so you guys can see I am turning the hips without moving my upper body. Okay, so that right there does upper body stability. But at the same time, if you notice that while I was doing it, I'm actually creating a lower body mobility. So you can see right now I'm working on mobility and stability, right? And that's very important, because the truth is, when you swing the golf club, there's got to be a separation and connection, which we did a video for that. Okay. But also, here's another example of stability. So in other words, right now, if I'm standing like this on a single leg, and I'm going to create lower body balance and stability, and then I'm going to turn my upper torso. So you can see, right? Now this is not easy. You got to do it very slow in the beginning. Okay? So you can see right now, I have stability with my lower body, legs, left leg, and my mobility on my upper torso and the core. Okay? So throughout the winter seasons, we're going to put out a lot of fitness videos to be very specific on, like, you know, obviously the type of exercise that you can do if you follow our channel and watch the videos. And, you know, while you're doing that, like I say, have fun with it. Don't do it very fast, especially when you're doing everything with a single leg. You know, do it very slowly. You don't need to do it up like that. See, I have to do it a little bit slower to maintain my balance. Okay? So, the stability and mobility stuff that you got to start working on. Now, here's one thing most people get very confused when I'm talking about, when I mention the word pressure. People say, well, what do you mean by pressure? Okay. Today actually, I watched a documentary. I don't know if you guys know his name. I'm sure everybody knows his name. His name is John Daly. And he's got a son. His name is Little John. Okay. So, I'm going to be very slow with this story, but I learned one thing from them, which is something I know but I don't use from a terminology perspective. So, John Daly was asking his son, hey, Little John, you know, tell me how you swing a draw, you know, your natural ball flight. Your natural ball flight. So, and then the commentator asked John, say, hey, what do you mean by natural ball flight? Well, that's my son, you know, Little John's natural ball flight. He swings draw ball flight. Okay? So Little John say, well, this is how I do. I'm gonna set up, you know, blah blah blah. You know, all he did talk about is feeling. You know, then John Daly asked him, so how do you swing a draw ball flight? And Little John say, well, I don't know. I just do it. Okay. So John Daly was looking at Little John. Then he started to come up with words for Little John. Okay. One word he described when you hit a draw. He said that Little John is going to take the club back. On the downswing, he's going to create a lot of lower body movement. And then once he get to here, he used the term dead leg. Dead leg. D-A-D-L-E-G. Dead leg. Okay? So I say, oh, that's a new term. What does that mean, dead leg? Alright? So, I know right away what he meant is this. In order to hit a draw, he's going to create lower body movement, but once he gets to here, once his body's turning to here, His leg on the right has to create a stability. Meaning this right here cannot move very fast. He's got to create stability here. So John Daly used the term dead leg. Okay? Which I truly believe from a teaching perspective, this terminology is called a lower body stability. At the same time you have a mobility, but the muscles on your right leg is creating pressure. You're tightening the muscles. The muscles here gets tightened and gets to create stability. But I believe when you just use the word stability, a lot of times people will go, isn't that means not moving or stationary? Yes, you can say that, but I truly believe it's when your muscles creating that pressure, because when you have pressure, we talked about this before, what pressure does to your body is creating correct structure. So what Little John's doing is that when you get to here, he's creating pressure here to create stability, so his upper torso can create a fast rotation and release the arms on the inside out path. That's what they say, the inside out path. That's what Little John said in the video. So that's how he swung the jaw ball fly. With the driver, with the irons. Okay? So, again, when he used the term dead leg, is what I say, okay, he's talking about stability, but at the same time, he's talking about muscular pressure. This to me, again, I learned something new. Not that from I don't know what they're talking about perspective. I know exactly what they're talking about. It just I learned a new term what John Daly uses. This is exactly what I believe golf instruction is so amazing, because everybody, good players, is going to tell you how they feel. Okay? So, you know, like what I use, stability, pressure. John Daly would use dead leg. Maybe Rory would go, well, I feel like I'm pushing off. Right? But this is one of the reasons why I truly believe the world needs a really standard golf instruction on verbiage, on describing the feeling. And then once you have a book, then the learner can derive to their own feeling, but there's got to be a standard foundational instruction manual so that way everybody can understand. Because the truth is, when John Daly tell you, well, look at Little John's got a dead leg right here. When he say dead leg, I truly believe that most people, when you hear this term, you say, what does that mean? Dead leg. Means the leg's not moving? So see, you can see it can lead to very misleading what? Information. So if someone say dead leg means, oh my God, I'm going to just stop right here, not moving. But that is a terminology that John Daly uses. But what I believe is that from a teaching perspective, I would tell my student, okay, look, when you get to here, your leg right here, all the muscles, you feel like you got to tighten the muscles. You got to use the muscular pressure, right? And to create stability, but you're not stopping there. You're just supporting your upper torso rotation, and then your arms can release. Okay? And the truth is, a lot of times you will see the calves. I know Phil Mickelson recently had a picture of his calves are bulging up. They're very strong. That's from golf swing. Okay? So that right there, what I learned today is dead leg means a leg pressure with stability. Okay? So just guys, I want to give you a demonstration of what is pressure. Okay? So right now I have my arms right now. They're very relaxed. Okay? So right now you can see I'm not going to move my arms at all. Means I'm not going to do a curl or any movement. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to create pressure in my muscles. So right now this is what it looks like. You can see right now my arms shake a little bit. Right? So if you guys walk close, if you watch closely, you can see my arms and muscles are start to do what? Changing shape. Right? And also, even though I'm not doing a bicep curl, the muscles here gets tightened. Okay? So that is the very definition of a muscle pressure. You're controlling the contraction of the muscle fiber, but you're not doing an extreme inside, in and out movement of the muscle fiber. Okay? So that's pressure. That is something, believe me, when you're working on pressure of the muscle in your body, you cannot do the movement very fast. You have to do the movement very slowly. Just like what I'm doing right now. If I'm creating pressure with my arms right now, I have to create this pressure very slowly. If I do it very fast, it'll give me what? A 2D movement. A 2D movement just means your natural body muscular motion. Right? That's a 2D movement. But creating pressure means, you can also say flexing. Means you're flexing the muscles. That's creating pressure. So guys, when you watch this video, this live stream, or you can watch our channel, we really talk about a lot of those things. Muscular pressure. Okay? Because you cannot do a 2D movement because your body is rotating. Your entire body is rotating. Okay? Now, so why pressure is so important is because when we talked about earlier, dead leg, because you create stability at the same time. If you guys follow this channel, I talked about, if I give you 2 whip right now, a whip, it's made of a silk. Another whip, it's made of leather. So if I do this same time, which one will give me more destructive power? Obviously, the answer would be the whip with leather. Leather is made with leather. It's because the structure, the substance, the way how the whip is made, because it's leather. If it's made of silk with the same diameter, the whip with leather is going to do a lot more damage. Now obviously a whip with the silk would have to be so much thicker to do the same damage when something is the same diameter, right? You can see it. You can have a comparison of the ratio. So that's what pressure really means in a golf swing. Okay? So in other words, you can see, let's just talk about it. Let's identify what pressure is if I'm swinging right now. When I get to the top, my right leg, my core, my hips is creating stability, but at the same time, I do have muscular pressure, but not a lot. So on the downswing, I'm going to weight transfer. There's mobility, separation, and there's stability of the upper torso. And then at the same time, I have a core rotation. And once I get to here, my muscles on my left, and my core is going to create pressure, so it's going to maintain, it's going to drive through with mobility, and then my arm's going to lag behind me. Then when I absorb the energy, my arm's going to release. At the same time, the muscles in my arms will also create mobility, which is rotation. But at the same time, as it's rotating, my arms is creating pressure to achieve a better structure. Okay? But also, depending on the distance and the shot, I may apply pressure differently. I may have a soft acceleration, or a little bit faster, or a little bit harsh acceleration. Okay. So, but it's very important for you guys to understand what we're talking about as far as stability, mobility, and pressure. Okay? So, wintertime is the best time to really work on your body to understand what those three terminology means in a golf swing. Okay? And the truth is, if you guys do everything at home, you know, like right now I'm in the room, you don't have to do movements fast. You can do movements very slowly. Nothing has to be very fast. Okay? So, all right, Jason. Hello?
Yeah.
Jason. What's going on? I mean, how's the audio? How's the value?
Yeah, it's good. We have about 10 people should be. I don't think anybody is talking right now. People may be shy or I don't know, but we have people coming in around 10, 12 people.
Oh, good, awesome. Is there any questions?
No, not yet.
Okay, very good. So, also, some good news. We're gonna get back to the subject of the fitness and home workout a little bit, but I just want to keep you guys updated. Next week, I won't tell you guys a lot, but next week next weekend, the weekend of December 11th, I'm going to Houston to see someone. But I won't mention what I'm doing there. It's going to be something pretty exciting for Energy First Golf. Because right now, I believe that I think the PGA of America and PGA Tour, both organizations, they're moving their headquarters to Dallas, Texas. So I believe in the future, there's a lot of stuff going on as far as for golf. It's going to happen in Texas. So next week I'm going to take another trip down to Houston to see some people. So it's going to be very exciting. And then also, I know a lot of you know that I went down to Dallas in October, met up with a lot of fans and with a lot of lessons, and it was very exciting. And also, we're in the middle of the process working on certification. I think we mentioned it in our previous video, that certification for people who really want to understand and learn FO Golf, Energy First, Impact Later. Okay, this teaching system. Okay, the truth is, like I say, a lot of you watch our channel. Sometimes when you watch a video, you say, "Man, this guy's making some sense, but it's very confusing." He's not really teaching anything that's in particular. It's because a lot of times when I do videos, because I'm doing all the videos, you can see all on our channel, we have both Chinese and English. We have a lot of videos. But understanding all the videos are really teaching a system. So we don't have videos going, well, today we're going to show you this 2 or 3 things. Make sure you hit the ball solid, or make sure you have a solid contact, right? So you won't find videos like that. Because one, we don't talk about impact anyway. A lot of guys will come to me and say, "Hey, how come you don't ever talk about impact?" I usually go, "Well, what is your handicap? Are you a scratch or maybe a single digit handicap? Maybe like 1 or 2, 3? Okay, but if you're not a scratch or single digit handicap, there's no reason to talk about the impact position." Okay, because as you all know, we're always dealing with what? Most amateurs, we're always dealing with power struggle, which leads back to what we're talking about today. The topic of power struggle means, are you able to use the muscles correctly, creating stability and mobility and pressure, or are you just seeing the ball right now and assuming that your body right now, all the movement that you do is going to produce a necessary energy to propel the ball to a target consistently, right? Because again, if you think that you have the energy or the power to do that, then I believe you're already starting out wrong. Okay? And also, a lot of people always ask me, well, why do you want to have a standard golf instructions? The truth is, I've mentioned a long time ago, the average score is very high. So in other words, we need, again, kids are different. We need all the adults to learn this language, this physical language, this body swing from a foundational base. Means everybody have to have something they can stand on. You know, is the foundation, is the basis, is the principle. Okay? But I know a lot of guys, when you watch YouTube channel, there's a lot of information. Matter of fact, today I had a lesson with one of my clients that saw something on YouTube channel and asked me, well, what if I do this? You know, what if I hinge my wrist early? Well, yeah, you can, but if you hinge your wrist early, that a lot of times it will produce more of a readiness. If you hinge your wrist early, it will produce a readiness of a contact because you already started to use your hands. Because once you start to use your hands on the backswing, you will use your hands on the downswing. So your hands is going to go ahead of your body. So and then I say to him, I say, look, you're going to have a lot of information, but you got to make sure, is this information teaching you how to swing, or is this information just make sure you can hit the ball? Okay. So I went off on a tangent a little bit. So now let's go back to, we'll talk about the three things: stability, mobility, and pressure. Okay. Understanding out of the three things, what is the most important thing you have to learn? Right? There's 1, 2, 3. But the truth is, the answer is that you have to learn stability first before you learn mobility, before you learn pressure. But isn't that funny? If you notice that everything with F4 Golf, with the logo is round, it's like a circle, right? Think about this. When I say you have to learn stability first, but isn't that funny? When you're learning stability, would you also agree that you're also learning pressure? Think about that, right? So I have three things right now. We have stability, mobility, pressure in a circle. So if you're learning stability, then if you learn mobility, isn't that when you learn stability, pressure is right next to it, right? But again, from a training perspective, you have to learn stability first. But while you're doing the stability, pressure is very near. So in other words, let me demonstrate, right? So think about this right now. If I'm learning, focusing on stability, right? I'm focusing on stability here. Even though my upper torso is moving, but I'm focusing on my stability, would you also agree that the muscles in the legs has to create pressure to maintain stability? Yes, absolutely does. But the idea of learning, remember, everything with learning is purely based on steps. Okay? Now I can give you all this information, but the idea is that your brain has to learn one thing at a time. So in other words, that's the reason why we say that you got to have a proper learning steps. So even though I say that you're learning the stability, at the same time there's pressure, but when you're learning, you say, well, I'm a beginner, I'm trying to focus on conditioning on my body, so the word stability has to come into mind. So right now I'm creating stability, which means balance, but at the same time, you are working on pressure also. But like I said, when you're learning it, you have to simplify things. So that's exactly the reason why we say you got to learn stability, mobility, and pressure. Okay? So now I'm going to show you if I already know stability and mobility. So if I already know stability and mobility, I'm going to go to the top. Okay? So now I can actually focus on creating pressure with my legs. Just a little bit. You can see I'm not going up and down, I'm just creating pressure. You guys can see that. Okay? So in other words, I gotta have stability first already. I gotta have mobility, then I can feel the muscular pressure. Okay? So, I know the last 10 minutes sounds very confusing, but the idea is that when you're learning it, it's gotta have steps. But just because you're learning one thing, it does not mean other things do not involve. It does involve, because again, it's like a circular. When you're dealing with energy, everything comes in a package. But that's what leads to why learning golf is so difficult. Because everything we're talking about is about you creating energy. Okay? But again, the golf swing energy is rotational. Because right now, look, I just got this, recently I got this waffle balls, orange training balls, so I can swing at home. Again, what makes golf difficult is that because every human being, you grow up with a lot of two-dimensional movement, so it's very easy for you to throw a ball like this. You don't even think about it. Right? Say right now, if I throw the ball to a trash can, you guys can't see I'm gonna throw it to a trash can. I hit the trash can. I don't think about it. Because why? It's because my body has linear energy. I've grown up ever since I was a baby. I know what a linear motion means to me. Okay? But with golf swing, you must create a rotational energy. This rotational energy is not something you do growing up. But remember, with energy first, impact later, we don't assume that anybody, every human being who wants to learn golf already have the energy. That's why we say energy first. Because you cannot assume you come into this world when you have a golf club. Right? When you have a golf club right now, when you stand over here, you, my friend, cannot assume you already have the correct energy. You know what rotational energy means. Okay? If you make that assumption, that's when you're never learning the true essence of a golf swing. Because all you're going to do is what? Use your 2D power. Use your chest and use your arms. Okay? So that's the reason why with energy first, impact later, we do not assume you have the power and energy. That's exactly why we at Ethel Golf, Energy First Golf, we want you to understand that there is a power struggle stage. The power struggle stage is the first stage when you learn golf. Okay? I mean, really think about it. If you have the correct energy right now, if you're a beginner, right, if you have a correct energy right now, there's a high chance you can swing the ball, doesn't matter how many balls, in the same direction, just like when you throw the ball. If I give you 100 balls, you can throw in the same direction. But why can't you do it with a golf club? Well, the simplest answer is because you don't have the correct energy to begin with. If you do have the correct energy, then you will be able to swing the golf club, make the ball go the same directions. So this is one of the reasons why, again, I'm talking here right now. I know some of you watching this. Believe me, this is exactly what the golf world needs, because every instructor has to tell you that if you are a beginner, if you're an amateur, you do not have the power and energy to learn how to play golf correctly in the beginning. Just because you know how to do bench press, just because you know how to do squats, just because you know how to do shoulder presses, just because you know how to ride a bike, just because you know how to play basketball, just because you know how to do any other sports, and you assume you have the energy for a golf swing. No, you don't. But you can assume that you do. But that's when it leads to where? It leads to no development, no improvement in the long run. Okay? That's exactly the reason why the USGA average score is so high. Because again, most people don't teach correctly in the beginning because they assume you already have the power. Okay? I mean, really, for a good example, think about it. I just recently, a lot of times because the pandemic, there's a lot of people picking up golf because golf is like the only thing you can do. Okay, golf is the only thing you can do. So I'm getting a lot of beginners, I don't have a golf club, I want to learn golf type of requests. And the truth is, I welcome everybody. It doesn't matter what level. Could be beginners who has no clubs, or it could be advanced player who shoots below scratch, plus handicaps, plus 1 or 2. But what happens when a beginner comes to me? I tell them the ball is not important. And they'll look at me funny. They say, what do you mean the ball is not important? Don't I have to hit the ball? Do I have to make contact? I said, no, the ball is not important because the target is more important. So you have to create energy to throw the ball to a target. Okay? So they would say, man, that sounds very interesting. It makes sense though. But here's the problem. They have one lesson with me. And I tell them all the right thing. But guess what? Their natural human instinct wants to hit the ball. So they go home, look at other YouTube videos. They go, man, well, how come this guy's talk different thing than Lawrence? Oh my God, he's going to make me do 1 or 2 things. I'm going to try this 1 or 2 things. So guess what? This guy's going to go to the range tomorrow. Totally forget about what I tell him. Because he's still a beginner. Because he's looking for satisfaction of what? Just try to hit the ball. Right? So he's going to go to the range and look at these YouTube guys and hey, maybe, hinge the wrist and just bring everything down, drop the arms down, and see if he can hit the ball. Sure, he's going to do that. Because why? It sounds easy. It sounds like it's something you can do. So he's going to go to the range and do that. Because that instructor on the YouTube channel never talk about, hey, you don't have the correct energy to begin with. Because he's just saying that, well, you know how to do bench press. So if you know how to do bench press, you already have the power for a golf swing. So this guy is going to go to the range, right? Is going to try to hit the ball. And guess what? The ball goes in the air. It really doesn't matter where it goes. He just say, well, look at the ball goes in the air. It's better than Lawrence because Lawrence, when I had a lesson with him a couple of days ago, he didn't want me to hit the ball. All he wanted me to do is just turn my body and ignore the ball. Right? So he's like, man, Lawrence doesn't know what he's talking about. Because this guy right here on the YouTube channel, 2 things, hinge the wrist and just drop everything through, I'm hitting the ball. What a great instructor. Right? Then he's going to come back to me and say, hey man, I don't think I want to take lessons with you anymore. I say, yeah, I understand that. Okay, that's fine, because there's different ideas out there. But I already know. That's the reason why a lot of my clients who's been with me for a long time, they're not beginners. And a lot of them had at least 3 to 4 instructors before they came see me. But I understand it. I truly understand it, and that's just how the world is. But the idea is that this guy is never learning how to swim. So he may, like I say, I used to not know any golf swing. I used to be able to play, break 90 in 6 months, because just with athleticism. But you get stuck. you know, you're not gonna improve. There's no recognition of anything we talked about, like stability, mobility, pressure. All he's doing is just using the arms. There's my ball, I'll go there. Well, that one go left, I'm gonna aim right, and I'm gonna go here. Oh, it slides goes right, I'm gonna adjust my face, I'm gonna turn my face a little bit. Okay? I mean, you all know it. I mean, if you're watching this video right now and watching this live stream, you all know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, there's a lot of external corrections, right? Aim left, aim right, open face, put shaft forward, shaft back, you know, put the weight forward, you know, all of that. So, yeah, you can do all of that. It's what we call the external mechanics, external swing mechanics. It means you're manipulating the position, the clubs and setup, or the arms, you know, all of that. But guess what this guy didn't learn? He's never learned the correct energy. Right? So, guess what's going to happen to him? So, a year or two, he's going to be shooting to maybe 90s, or he looks like pretty athletic, he might break 90. Eventually, maybe even shooting 70s one time. But guess what? He'll go right back to 80, 90 the next week. Alright? And I got guys say, oh my God, my game is falling apart. I'm like, well, because you're not using the correct energy. Again, this is so common in the golf world. But the truth is, golf is so difficult, most people won't tell you the true handicap anyways. Because it's so difficult, everything is so difficult, it's so easy to what? To cover up, because everybody don't know. Because it's so hard, I don't know, you don't know, he don't care, nobody knows. But deep down inside, everybody's going, man, I wish I can play better. But like I say, I can't really blame you guys, because this guy was a beginner. After one lesson with me, would go home and watch different videos, right? And then learn how to hit balls, and now learn how to swing. So 10 years from now, he's still not going to have a golf swing, but he can hit balls. And he's going to have all this idea how to hit balls. He said, man, how can I not be consistent? So he's going to go to every coach. He literally is going to go to every coach, goes, man, you're my second coach, you're my fifth coach. I want to be consistent. All I want to do is be consistent. I no longer care about distance anymore. You know, I got guys come to me and say, hey man, I don't care about distance anymore. Man, I got this $5,000 driver, man. I only hit, 230 yards. I want to be longer, but I don't care about distance. I just want to be more consistent. I want to be in the middle every time. I say, well, how long have you been learning golf? No, I've been learning golf 10 years, man. I don't even know. Maybe this is my number 10 driver. Every year I change driver. So, man, it is a crazy world, man. That's what I love. I guess this is one of the reasons why I love golf, because it's so fascinating to me. To me, I look at the world of golf as pure entertainment. I find it, again, I'm not enjoying the hardship you guys go through. I'm just looking this very, what I call the funny reality. It's such a funny reality. Okay? Meaning it's so real. Golf is so real. Because there's no shortcut in golf. So it's so, I'm always a little want to cuss. It's so real. Golf is so real. There's no shortcut. But it's such a funny reality. It's amazing. Because why you got all of this instructions out there, all this YouTube channel, right? Nobody's talking about energy first. And nobody's going to say, well, if you first learn golf, you're going to have power struggle. Nobody's saying that except us. Everybody come to me and say, I want to learn golf. I say, okay, if you want to learn golf, you're going to have a power struggle. Because you don't know the correct energy. You don't know where the energy comes from. And all the beginners are going to look at me funny. They say, what do you mean, man? I go to the gym, I got a lot of dudes out here. I know how to bench press 300 pounds. I said, yeah, that's 300 pounds bench pressing, but that's not 300 yards. Don't translate that to a 300 yards. You might hit one good, but doesn't mean you can repeat it. So in other words, you can bench press 300 pounds 10 times, you can repeat it. But there's no way you can repeat it 300 yards. So that's what the funniest thing about golf is. Such a man. The crazy thing about golf is that golf, the game itself, is so beautiful, right? It's so beautiful, but at the same time, it's so cruel. It's just so cruel, you know. And that is why, I guess, why I love golf, because it's such an extreme opposite. You know, that's the reason why. Excuse me, one time. Let me charge the phone.
Lawrence, we do have one question though.
Okay.
So we have a question from Alville. He asked, wonder if ball placement at address depends on which dominant eye.
Okay. Wait. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Shoot.
Everything okay?
Yeah, the Yubang got locked out, but
Uh,
let's not worry about Yubang right now. This says this in English.
yeah.
Again, sorry, we had some. I need to charge the. I forgot to plug in the phone. Again, we talked about the world golf as being beautiful and cruel, but it's such a really true reality. That's the reason why, if you look at energy first, impact later, like I said, if you flip the first letter, it's called life. Golf is really like life. Okay, so if you want to learn life correctly, if you want to learn golf correctly, it has to be energy first, impact later. All right, so Jason, what was the question?
Yeah, the question was, wonder if ball placement at address depends on which dominant eye.
Ball placement at address,
Right, that's what it says.
depending on what
Yeah, depends on which dominant eye.
which dominant eye? What's that mean?
Dominant eye.
Oh, dominant eye. Okay, sorry, the phone. Okay. That's actually that's a very good question. So let me repeat the question so that way everybody can hear. So this gentleman asked me, the ball position, when you set up, say ball position means, what he's talking about means the ball position in relationship to your stance. Okay, so ball position in relationship to your stance. Okay, so those three balls right now, there's my stance, right? You guys can see it. So what he's saying that when the ball position, where it is, does my dominant eye affect the ball position? Means if my dominant eye is left, should I change the ball position? If my dominant eye is right, should I change the ball position? Okay. This is a very good question. The answer to that question, okay, the answer to that question is that no, you don't. Okay, the eyes does not dictate, should not dictate the position. The best way to explain ball position is that the ball position has everything to do with you understanding if you're swinging. Okay, if you're swinging, the ball position does give you a different shot pattern. Okay, has nothing to do with because your eyes are dominant. If your right eye is dominant, your left eye is dominant. Okay, it has everything to do with your shot pattern. I mean, the truth is, my right eye is my dominant eye. Okay, so as you can see right now, if I put the ball here, I'm put on the yellow line right now. Okay, this is a pitching wedge. So when I set up to the ball right now, my dominant eye is the right eye. I do not put the ball close to my right foot. Okay, I don't do that. Okay, I still put on what I call the standard position. Okay, now if I want the ball to go lower, have a lower trajectory, I will absolutely put the ball close to my right foot because I want to swing a lower trajectory. Okay? So it has nothing to do with which eye is dominant. Okay? So now there's one thing you guys can understand. If this is actually very fascinating to me, like I say, I'm a right-handed player. I swing right to left. My right eye is dominant. Now, if your left eye is dominant, and if you are a right-handed player, that's actually a good thing, obviously. Because what happens is if my eye, this eye, left eye is dominant, when I do swing, when I get to here, this eye is going to see the ball. Okay? So, my eye's right eye right now, it sees the bridge of my nose. Okay? So I just see the ball a little bit. So that, again, it's obviously a plus if you are dominant eye is your left eye. Okay, that is a good thing. That's advantage to you. Okay, but doesn't matter what dominant eye you are, the ball position, you're only changing ball position if you are playing the shots. Now, the reason why this gentleman, this question is asked is because, yes, if I am, again, I did this before. Like I said, everything I'm telling you, I have done this before. When I first started, when I didn't know golf, it's absolutely easier for me to hit the ball. Again, the key word is hit the ball, not swing through the ball. It's easy for me to hit the ball when the ball is close to my right side. Okay? It's because I can see it, I can catch it with my dominant right side sense. But that's not a golf swing. Again, that's just a golf hit. Okay? That's the difference. So be very careful, when you ask the question. So you have to ask yourself, if I like the ball, if my dominant eye is the right eye, if I like the ball to be on the back of the stands, am I swinging or am I hitting? Now, if the ball is the back of the stands like this right now, if I do swing through the ball, if the ball goes very high, that means I am hitting the ball. That means I'm cutting the ball. I'm scooping. That's the reason why it goes high. Because it's easy for my dominant side to catch it like this. Right? But if I swing, the reason why the ball will go lower, is because, remember, if I'm swinging right now, if I put the ball on the back close to my right foot, if I'm swinging right now, remember the idea is that when I swing, my body rotation is going to drag my left arm. So at this position, my left arm's way ahead of the ball. Way ahead of the ball. So that's the reason why if I put the ball back here, the ball is going to be a low ball fly, even with the pitching wedge. If you're swinging, because remember, when you're swinging, your body gets turning in front of the club. So if the ball's right here, you can see the club shaft lean is going to be drastic. So in other words, I don't like to even talk about it. It's almost like a taboo word for me. It's taboo. The impact position. I'm just going to mention it one time here. The impact position. When I say that word, it scares me. Because I know a lot of people watching, oh my God, he's talking about impact position now. Oh my God, he's talking about impact position. Let's listen to what he has to say. Again, it's just, I have to use that word right now. But don't think about the impact position. Okay? Meaning if the ball is back here, if I do swing, you can see this pitching wedge literally becomes what? It literally becomes like a 6 or 5 iron. Because if I'm swinging, right? If I swing right now, the club is going to get in front of the ball. So a lot of guys will use the word, I'm trapping the ball. I'm trapping the ball. I'm compressing the ball. Right? I'm compressing, I'm trapping. But we already know that with energy first golf, we talked about the release, the compression movement of the body rotation, and the hands gets in front of the ball. So just so be very careful. Like I say right now, if the ball's on the way back, okay, that would mean the ball has to go lower, not high. Now, if you do hit a high shot, again, if the ball it is on the back foot, if I'm hitting a high shot, I'm definitely doing a trick shot. Okay? So, when we're dealing with trick shots, we're always talking about third stage, which is the spin and trajectory control stage. The third stage. Alright? So, I answered that question. There's any more questions?
Yes. So we have a really good question from Chris Lee. He asked, "What do you do when you want to quit?"
Chris Lee, okay. That's actually a very good question. The truth is, actually, with everything in life, everybody, when you're watching this video, I truly believe it's okay to quit. It's completely okay to quit. But I won't use the word quit. I will use what I say, take a break. Because here's something very, very important. Okay, this is something very important. The truth is, a lot of people who play golf, when you play golf, if you like the game golf, you're, like I say, you're a thinker, you're a tinker. Okay? And you are looking for perfection. This is what's fascinating about golf. But the truth is, like I say, there's no such thing as perfect golf swing. But there's perfect energy. Right? But also, believe me, like I say, a lot of you know me for a long time. I told you guys, I started playing golf when I was 19. Okay? I also believe that if right now, in your life, doesn't matter what age you are, if you're young, you're old, you're middle age, you can only focus on golf, means it takes energy to relax. It takes energy to focus. It takes calmness to work on everything with golf swing. Meaning right now, if you in a life where there's a lot of things that's happening, like your job, your career, your family, your girlfriend, you're about to take a trip, or you're about to have a baby, or you're about to get married. I truly believe all those things with life that you're doing right now, your job, your family, your parents, someone's sick, or your job's not doing good, you're about to, anything in life, any big events with life, it's not going to help your golf game. Period. Okay? This is exactly what I mean by golf is such a beautiful game, but it's such a cruel world. It's very cruel. It's because of that reason also. Because it does take a lot of energy. Meaning, if right now when you go to a range, there's a lot of stuff in the back of your head, you're probably not going to be very effective by training and by focus. But now, again, yes, you can, but you will have to have a lot of discipline of the mind. Meaning right now, if you say, well, you know what, I'm going to go to the range, just work on one or two things and really try to relax. I'm not going to focus on a lot of different things. Because believe me, every time when you swing, there's something pop up in your head. Now again, I'm not going to know what's going through your mind. But I truly believe just speaking from a personal experience. Okay, I used to have my own restaurants. I used to have my own business. I used to have a whole bunch of stuff. But I do believe I was not playing my best golf until where everything, all the, the English word called all the ducks in a row. Okay? Everything has to be proper. Your job has to be satisfied. Everything has to be smooth. But if you don't, you can absolutely use golf as a meditation. But, like I say, if you use golf as a meditation, if you say, I'm going to use golf to forget about the world that I was in from 9 to 5, it takes extreme discipline to do that. You got to block out everything. So, to Chris's question, like I said, golf is a lifelong game. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, I'm going to be a scratch player tomorrow. I want to break 90. Right now my swing sucks. I can't even play golf. I would simply say, well, life happens. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on in your life. Everybody's life. So I would suggest maybe it's time to take a break, right? Maybe it's time to do yoga. Maybe it's time to maybe read a book. Matter of fact, I actually told one of my clients, like, I think before the springtime, he's like, man, last year has been a crazy year. I wasn't playing good golf. I said, well, before you start this year, in April, why don't you, I talked to him on the phone, why don't you read these books called, there's so many golf books out there, like mental stuff. I said, before you even pick up a golf club, just read this book. Then you can decide if you want to pick up golf again. I said, please don't pick up the golf club with that mindset. Okay? So he did that. Okay? And then, guess what? He just picked up the golf club. That was April. So he didn't pick up the golf club until August. And he's doing fine. So, to answer Chris's question is that, yes, it's okay to take a break. But remember, golf is a lifelong game. So in other words, right now, if you are going through hardship with golf, the truth is, that also means there's something else that you're going through. It's hard. Okay? It's probably taxing on your mind. It's probably taking away a lot of your time. Okay? So, I'll recommend, don't worry about your score right now. Have fun with golf. But appreciate the support with Energy First Golf. Keep watching our channel. Work on things little by little. Because what we talk about in our channel is not quick tips. It's going to stay with you as long as you play golf. So that's another reason why I'm proud of our channel. I'm proud of FO Golf. Is because you can always pick it up. You can pick up life whenever you wish to. But right now, if you decide to quit or put the club down and take a rest, it's absolutely okay. Matter of fact, sometimes I even do that. I might not play golf for like maybe a month or 3 weeks. Sometimes I do that. The truth is, during the golf season, I'm so busy, I don't get a chance to play. And when I do play, I sometimes play good. So, the word quitting is never, I don't like to use the word quit. I would just say take a break. Or recollect yourself. Re-establish yourself. Okay, think about what is important right now. Because there may be jobs, there may be projects, there may be business projects you need to do. There may be life events happening. So prioritize it. Prioritize your life right now. Because golf really is an entertainment, if you really think about it. It's just such a good entertainment. You will have fun, play with your friends, even you shoot 100s. Okay? Matter of fact, I tell you guys, I played TPC Sugarloaf the other day. I shot a 90. It didn't bother me because, I had such fun, because it was holiday. So, I'm not going to go, oh my gosh, I shot 90, I'm going to quit. But again, everybody's different. But understanding the value of golf means you can have fun even when you are struggling. But the reason why you're not having fun sometimes is just, I believe there are a lot of pressure around you. Like I say to you, life happens. So that may be something to think about. But don't quit. I would just take a break, recollect yourself, find yourself a little bit. You know, make sure you make right decisions for life, not necessarily for golf. Because when life is good, and you can focus on golf. Then when your golf is good, the flip side, it becomes life. The life becomes better. Alright? So hopefully I answered that question for you guys. Because really golf is actually, you know, that's the reason why Energy First, Impact Later, flip side is life. You know, golf is very philosophical. And there's a lot of stuff that what golf can give you, you can reflect on life. But what life can give you, you know, every day you're living can reflect on golf. I mean, really, think about it. I believe someone who's a cheater, like who's like to maybe, you know, shoplift, you know, and do small stuff, like put stuff in the pocket, just like to cheat, and they're gonna cheat in the golf course also. I mean, I have no friends that were like that, but I have run into people that I play with them. You know, they would cheat. You know, they would do little things to move the ball. I mean, again, it reflects on personality. Again, there's certain cheats, okay, you know, you're not hurting anybody. But I always believe that, you know, whatever you do, really, golf is very psychological. Whatever you do on the golf course, it reflects on what you do in real life. Okay, so right now, if you go to the golf course, you're very stressed, you're not able to relax, you know, your arms and your chest and everything's tight. That also means something outside of golf is kind of stressful. It's kind of tight. So, it's something to think about. But again, don't quit. Just take a break. Alright, do we have another question?
No, that's all the question for now.
Okay, very good. So, what time we have right now?
We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Okay. How many viewers we got?
About 10 drops. Stay the same. People come and go.
Very good. So, Jason, did you ever figure out the technical problem?
Yeah, I set it up before the Chinese again, so we should be all set.
Okay. So, and the truth is, man, you know, just talk about me. You know, earlier I mentioned I have my own business. The truth is, with me, you know, when I started playing golf, I can tell you this, because, you know, I started playing golf and because I was so into golf, and there are many times, you know, I break up with my girlfriends because it's, oh my God, all you do is play golf, right? And then I had to make a choice to go, okay, this girl want to break up with me because I play too much golf. So should I not play golf and to be with this person? So I was stressed out about that, right? But I believe that, well, you know, I was young, maybe in my late 20s, early 20s. Should I be in rush get into, you know, a serious relationship? I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a good thing, you know. But what I always believe is that if you think about life, really, you know, everyone in life we don't know the time that we have to live. Okay? And I always believe there are times in life that you're gonna have people come and go in their life. But I also believe that when you make a decision, when you make a good decision, now obviously I'm married. So in other words, my current wife didn't leave me because I play a lot of golf. So that's something to think about. So in other words, if back then when I was late 20s or mid 20s, when this particular person say, you know, we're gonna break up because you play a lot of golf. So if I say, well, okay, let me not play a lot of golf, let me focus on this relationship, and let me see what she wants to do, I could absolutely do that. But then, would I be here today? What would I be doing? You see? So, a lot of times I truly believe that in life, no, there are bad decisions. When you make a really bad decision, you know, you will have to pay for it. Like, you know, if you're criminal, you know, there's times you have to pay for it. But I do believe there are certain decisions you make in life, it's absolutely recoverable. As long as you don't make it life-changing decisions, you know. So you can make bad decisions, but it's absolutely recoverable. As long as you're not doing anything that's criminal. Because, you know, you may not buy this house, may not buy this car, or may not get this job. Maybe there's a different job offered. So don't be afraid to make those mistakes in life. You know, to have a different relationship, and if it didn't work out, as long as, you know, again, you don't hurt people physically, you know, mentally, I don't know. But again, you don't go out there and do people physically harm. So, you know, you will make choices in life. And don't worry that you're making wrong choices. I believe the most important thing is that you have to learn, just like golf, you have to learn from your mistakes. You know, you have to learn why you did that. Why is this shot going to the right? Why is this going left? And that's exactly what FO Golf, Energy First, Impact Later is going to teach you. The reason why the ball is not in your control. So same thing in life, you know, if you make a bad decision, it's okay. You just have to learn from it. You got to learn from your mistakes. You know, if you learn from your mistakes and then you move on from it, it'll be better for you. Because again, nothing's perfect. There's no such thing as everything is perfect. Okay? Because from a structure perspective, from a formula, means from the way how you move around, there's no such thing as a perfect movement, as a perfect pattern. But, same thing with Energy First, Impact Later, as you're moving your body, you're learning a penetrated energy that's going to lead you to the next stop, to lead you to become successful in your own way. Because you are learning how do you use your mind, how do you use the energy to become better in your life, the way how you live. But you will still make mistakes. But that's exactly why, isn't that funny when we talk about Energy First, Impact Later? This is so amazing. I really are fortunate, you know, we got a good team around us, you know, we got Jason, we got so many good people that's around this idea, Energy First, Impact Later. Because the truth is, if you think about it, Energy First, Impact Later, you can apply to pretty much everything you do in life. You got to put in the effort first. You got to put in the plan first. Meaning you got to put in the energy first. Then you will see the results, the impacts later. So really, energy first, impact later, it applies to everything in life. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I'm so excited about what we're doing as a unit. I mean, I know we're talking about golf, but the truth is, I believe, just like what Chris asked the question, I truly believe Energy First, Impact Later, this brand, FO Golf, Energy First Golf, it's going to help you guys. If you truly understand golf, it's going to help you really clear your mind also. This is, to me, is one of the most fascinating things about golf. Because really, it is kind of like life. So, I mean, like I say, I'm pretty fortunate, you know, we come up with the brand. I really don't know. Again, when I say Energy First, Impact Later, this is one of the reasons why, you know, on my channel, on our channel, the Energy First Golf channel, on the Chinese FO Golf, we say that to the viewers, say we're the standard of instructions. It's not because we don't teach anything different like the back. I mean, the terminology, the backswing, the downswing. There's a lot of common themes with our teaching to other instructors. But the only difference is the core value. The difference is that we don't teach impact. We don't teach how to hit the ball. That's the main difference. There's a lot of nuances the same, like wrist hinge, like the grip, who doesn't know the overlap grip, the vertical grip, right? I mean, everybody teaches that, or you do the inner line. I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, I teach the inner line. If someone wants to do inner line, I teach the overlap. So, it's nothing new, but the idea is the core concept. The most important thing for us with Energy First Golf is the core concept. Energy first, impact later. This is something that you guys, when you watch our channel, has to understand why I say what I say. I'm not being arrogant. I just truly believe that what this teaching system can offer you for golf can also offer you a lot of things that in life. This is what I truly believe. That's exactly why, I didn't even know EFIL golf turnaround's life, and someone had to tell me. Someone had to literally tell me, hey, that FO is life backwards. I'm like, what? Are you serious? I didn't know that. That's a true, honest story. So at that moment, I'm like, wow, we as a unit, we as a team, we as a company, we have a purpose, right? We're not just going to be talking about golf. Golf is just a plot. It's just a storyline. But I do believe we can create a beautiful world for people who enjoy golf. That's what I truly believe. And that's exactly the reason why on my channel I go, well, I believe with a standard instruction. It's not because I'm bragging, it's not because I'm being arrogant, it's because I truly have believed that we have the right idea. Okay? So it's almost like people say, man, you think you're such a hot, I don't want to say the word. You think you're so hot. I'm like, no, I'm just telling you the truth. It's almost like, well, the sun is very hot. If you look at the sun, you don't want to get close to the sun. It's the truth. Sun is hot. Okay? So what I'm saying to you is that energy first golf, energy first, impact later is just the truth. This is what you have to apply, that principle, to learn golf and deal with life. When you have a project in life, when you try to build a business, you got to put in energy, you got to put in plan. So, that's all I'm saying. So again, basically.
I have another question.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's from the same person who asked the first one on ball placement. He's asking, maintaining grip pressure throughout the swing. He's asking, is maintaining grip pressure throughout the swing is important? When I practice golf, I noticed that my grip pressure getting tighter, and why?
That's a very good question. So let me repeat that question. So this question is based on grip pressure, and he's saying that when I learn FO golf, my grip pressure become tighter. That's actually, I would say that it's not because you're learning FO golf your grip pressure is tighter. It's just right now you have not give away what I call the power struggle. Because right now, let me explain to you guys this, okay? First, the grip pressure with the golf swing is changeable. It's absolutely changeable. It depends on your shot pattern, like what you want to do. So sometimes when I swing, I could have a grip pressure that's very even. So right now I'm going to have very even grip pressure and I'm going to swing. Okay? Now sometimes I might have a little bit different grip pressure depending on what kind of shots I wanted to do. So the pressures in my hand is changeable, which is, or it varies, which is exactly what I talk about is the third stage. It's called the spin and trajectory control. But now, going back to this particular question, this question is based on why am I learning F4 golf? My grip pressure started to apply more. One is that I don't believe you're applying more pressure. Is that you'll always have that pressure. Okay? But the reason why you feel it more is this. Remember, we talked about our human body. Because when we're doing something, our entire body, our entire attitude is going to go, let me put out 100% positive notion. Think about this right now. If I do this is called a clean. I do this. Okay, I'm going to grab this bar, I'm going to do this. Right, I'm going to do this. Okay, so you can see I did a movement. That movement is what I call the 2D movement. It's an up and down movement. But while I'm doing the 2D movement, I can absolutely grip this very hard, but not affect my movement. But also, if I grip this very hard, it's also a natural instinct when I grip this very hard. Because it doesn't bother me. It's also a natural instinct. Okay? So you guys can think about that for a moment, right? I'll do it again. I have this bar right here, maybe a 25 plate dumbbell. I'll go like this, and I like that, right? Now, remember, when we talk about F4 golf, we talked about your lower body movement and your core power. Okay? When you're learning the movement, the truth is that if you're not giving up on the control of your hands, if you're not learning to give up the control of your hands, means if you don't go, well, I'm going to maintain a proper pressure while I'm using the power here, it takes discipline. Because remember, like I said, when you try to use power from here and here, your natural instinct is actually grip this tighter. That's absolutely true. Okay? So that's exactly what I mean by it's not that you're learning golf, your grip pressure is tighter, is that you haven't allowed the energy with the body and also the hands. That also tells me right now your arms are not rotating. Your arms are not releasing. The reason why you're not releasing is because, again, your same attitude when you're doing a movement. Even though right now, because you're learning F4 golf, you're training your body to do this movement, but at the same time, you're not letting the control here go. So it's very noticeable for you to go, wait a minute, I feel like I'm doing everything together. It's just because you haven't let go or forego the control of your hands, but at the same time, you're not letting the arms rotate. You're not letting the arms release. Because remember, if you don't let the arms release, the arm muscles has to do something. Okay, that's exactly the reason why I say to you guys, when you learn golf swing in the beginning, we talked about it's so important to feel lead arm rotation. Lead arm rotation. Because if the lead arm is not rotating, the arms has to feel like they got to do something. Okay? So in other words, my right arm has to also rotate. This is a right arm release. Right arm release. So remember, energy first, impact later. We don't talk about impact. That's exactly why we don't talk about impact. It means I'm not going to think about impact. I'm going to let everything rotate through. So in other words, based on this question, it tells me, yes, you are learning energy first. Means you all feel like you're moving your body, but you have not let go the impact. That means you're still focused on the impact. So you're working on the energy and you're working on the impact at the same time. So that's what you're feeling right now. So, but again, it is very common because that's the control you know. Because the impact position, the feeling of striking the ball is what you know. but not necessarily the release feeling, meaning you're not letting the club turn it. So, but like I said, keep working on it. I truly believe you got to learn to rotate the arms, let the supination and the arm rotation happen, the external rotation, the release movement happen with your left arm. Because if you don't do this, then your arms have to have some kind of what? Some type of receive movement, because your body's moving, because your body tends to do a what I call the unification 100% output. Means everything's going to be tightened up, and that's very common. But it's hard for golf because you're turning. But if you're doing a 2D movement, it won't bother you because you will have to push this arm together. You know, everything has that positive output. Okay? So, but that's a very good question. I'm glad someone asked that question. All right, so I think we're about to wrap it up, right, Jason?
Yeah, it's about an hour and 30 minutes, so we can switch to Chinese now.
Good. Again, we got some great questions. I mean, I wish this is absolutely fascinating, and really thank you for you guys. You know, for you, the viewers, my clients. Thank you for your support. Like I say, you know, energy first, impact later. FO Golf. It's more than just golf. I mean, we're using this engine, this platform, to really try to make, you know, if you're a golfer, obviously, you know, we're not talking about anything politics, we're not talking about stock market, we're not talking about none of that stuff, because I don't know. And I'm not an expertise in any of those fields. My expertise is in golf. So, if you're playing golf, you want your golf life to be better, you want your life outside of golf to be better, stick with us. Watch this channel. Learn from us. Learn from Energy First, Impact Later. It will help you in the long run. And that, I can promise you that. I can literally, I won't guarantee you shoot in the 70s, but I'll guarantee you that you become a lot more knowledgeable, and you have a better outlook. You have a much positive outlook for life. That's what I will guarantee you. If you really understand the truth, why the sun is hot. Okay? Alright, so I thank you for you guys. Jason, you have anything you want to add?
No, I just think we should make the question of what do you do when you want to quit into a video. I think that'll be okay.
Yeah, that's very good. We're gonna do one. I'm gonna do a video next week. Matter of fact, would be what to do when you want to quit. That's a good call, Jason. Yep. All right. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. All right, Jason. We now want to switch to Chinese.